So good evening, one and all. Today our session is storytelling using text analytics by Python. And I am Dr. Savita. I am an academic expert and an advisory member of Proto Academy Coimbatore. I have completed my doctorate in data mining with high performance computing. Um, Today our topic storytelling using text analytics by Python is a purely technical subject belonging to data mining. Uh, the objectives of the session. First, we tried to find out what is the need for text analytics, why we go in for text analytics. Next is how to create stories using text analytics, where the purpose lies, where the application is. Then we try to define text analytics, and then we implement text analytics model. And then we see some examples of already available classifier models, and we are going to see some examples using Python implementation. So going into why. So why we need text analytics? Information is available vastly on the web. They term to be this era to be the information explosion era. It keeps on doubling, and we have to give the users useful information. So how to give useful information? Of course, we have to go in for analytics, and that is why we have data science exploring so largely. Many people work on artificial intelligence and machine learning, and all these were derived from the need for users' demand. And text analytics also come under natural language processing. So need for text analytics. Information is overloaded. What are the disadvantages of doing it manually? It is time consuming, it is labor intensive, and the knowledge training required for analyzing the text is high, and people has to be trained for it. It may result in errors. And then if the goal of the work changes, then the entire work has to be repeated. So to avoid all this, we go in for automation of text analytics using Python. Where is this applied? So if you see from where we get the data sources, common textual data sources, these are the good examples of deriving textual data sources. Call center notes, associate comments, survey feedbacks from research publications, claims and case notes, live chat. Social media is one vast source of text details. Factories, email, medical records, contracts, online forums, blogs, consumer reviews, online news, and social networks. So these are the places wherein we get vast amount of text data. So we have to receive this data and we have to process it. So what we can do, we will see. Next, what are the applications, direct applications of text analytics? Where they use it after the doing the analytics. They use it for customer feedback monitoring, social media monitoring. Customer feedback monitoring, when a customer is going to give a feedback, the product manufacturer or the manager or the business analyst has to look in what is the feedback of the customer. And if the text is going to be large in size, then it cannot be done manually. He has to go for some automation process. Similarly, social media monitoring, competitor and market research, customer service prioritization. Which customer has to be serviced first? That can be decided based on the analytics of the text. Workforce analytics, sentiment analysis, and categorization. So these are the different applications of where text analytics is highly used. And some more on the side, analyzing open-ended survey responses. Survey responses from the users can be analyzed using text analytics, messages, emails, diagnostic interviews, and of course from websites we receive large amount of text. Coming to an example of how it actually is. We have a paragraph here. Just give a go through on the paragraph. Take 1 minute to just read out the paragraph. Maybe I can do it fastly. So paragraph is talking about a person saying he is a huge fan of both iOS and Android phones. And he has got to play around with the iPhone X today, and he was underwhelmed. First off, bad on Apple for branding it the iPhone 10. It should have been branded the iPhone Roman letter 10 because it is what most people are identifying it as. Second, he says it is best display ever. He compares it with Note 8, and he also goes on with it, and he says it is an excellent phone. So what are the objectives of reading this text by a text analyst? That is noted on the right side of the screen. You see what we can learn. We can get the reviewer's attitude from this paragraph. We get the reviewer's opinion on the features. What are the features he has quoted, like display, branding, design, price? Last line, he has quoted the price also. And a degree of his opinion. Is it a positive opinion or a negative opinion? And competitor information. What to which one he has compared this phone. So all these details can be learned from this paragraph. And that is the objective of text analytics. It is purely used for business enterprise information. Going to our next slide. The need for, okay. So we have named this session to be a storytelling session. And what is there in storytelling of text analytics? Here, literally storytelling means what is derived from the text. What content can be derived from the text. So to learn that, I've given a small example. You just see we have a table on this side. Table has X and Y values with 4 quadrants. If you see the table, you cannot interpret anything, maybe mildly sometimes. But if you see the graphical analysis of the table, you can interpret largely what are the results of the table. X1 goes linearly, the points are plotted linearly along with the fitting line. When you see X2, Y2, there is a parabolic version. It rises and it falls down. In X3, Y3, it is linear, but there are outliers. And the X4, Y4, the points of the X4 are constant. Y4 only varies. So this can be obtained only through a diagrammatic representation. Seeing the vast amount of text manually will never help for analytics, and we have to go in for visual representation. Then only analytics can be completed. And that is why the storytelling part comes in. Storytelling is nothing but creating statements or problems which can be addressed through text analytics. Coming to how to create stories, first thing is a statement of interest of the audience, or you can say the users, has to be raised, and based on the statement a question has to be answered and a solution has to be provided for the question. We'll see an example. So here we take a stock. This work is done by a text analyst. So the text analyst has having a statement regarding feedback of a particular stock. Then what he has to do, 2 question examples are, he can identify the positive and the negative feedbacks of the stock. Another thing is he has received the feedback from different news sources. Then he can get the details of the reports of the news sources and analyze which news source has given him more number of reports. So these are the perspectives of analysis questions. And then the text analytics is going to use a classifier model to analyze this and give a solution. And this is given visually. How it is given visually? This bar chart here, you have, it is plotted so that the news sources reported for the particular stock is measured. And if you see the second news source is giving a most amount of data. So this is a conclusion, and the owner of the stock or the text analyst can conclude saying that this source is giving me more information. So that is how text analyst goes with. Coming to this, okay. So we are dealing purely with textual data today. Our topic is going to be textual, but I thought it will be better if I give you an insight of what are the different graphs used for the different types of data in Python. It starts with textual data, then we have mixed data, we have numeric data, stocks, and geographic data. For textual data, they preferably go in for clouds. This is known as a word cloud, and this is generated in Python. For mixed data, we can go in for a bar graph, okay? So this is a mixed data. It is actually the analysis of Titanic database, wherein the survival rates of based on the gender and the boarding class is marked down. On the x-axis, we have the male, female, and on the y-axis, we have the frequency. The classes define which boarding class they belong to. So this is how we show a mixed data. When we go in for numeric data, we go in for a normal line chart, pie chart, bar chart, whatever you want, we can use it. When it is stock data, then we go in for a chart like this with time variation because it is related to stocks. And when we go for geographic data, we go to such a graph. And how are these graphs generated? I will give you this link. Right? This link has all these charts listed, and it also gives you the, okay, so the link which I have given is this link. So if you see in this link, all these charts which I have used are listed here. And if you want to see the coding of Python coding also, you can go inside. You very well have the coding of Python to plot this graph. If it is a world map graph, then this is the coding for Python. They have taken a data set as an example and they have plotted it. You can go for your own data set and you can plot it. So I thought it will be useful if I give this link. The e-materials will be provided to you after the session, and you have the reference in the PPT. So that is with the charts. Going inside the prediction modeling. So this is another example wherein the name of this chart is Seaborn type chart, and here this chart is used to show us the alcohol levels in different wine qualities, and the rating is bad, average, good. So what is this bad, average, good? That is the work of the text analyst. The text analyst apply a classifier model on the data, prediction modeling data, and he gets the output to be good, average, or bad. Coming to use of storytelling, it uncovers the insights from the data which is missed already. Manually, we cannot receive it, but when we frame it as a statement, then we get it. It maintains a relationship between the features and the data that are not clearly depicted. Okay, now coming into what is text analytics. So for now, we have seen why we're going for text analytics, because large amount of information is there. And then we saw where it is applied. Now we go in for what is text analytics or text mining. We have three definitions here. We have a mixed group of people in the participants. We have students, we have faculties, and other people from companies. So I thought it will be better if the definition is also going to have three levels of abstraction. First is, it is a technology to scale human acts of reading, organizing, and quantifying unstructured text data in meaningful ways. So we are going to read, organize, and quantify the text data which is untextured, and we are going to give meaning for the data. The higher level is, it is an AI technology. So this also comes under artificial intelligence. It is an AI technology which uses natural language processing to transform the unstructured text in documents into structured data suitable for analysis. So the third definition is, it is a set of linguistic, statistic, and machine learning techniques that model and structure the information content of textual sources. For what purpose? Business intelligence, exploratory data analysis, research, or investigation. So these are the three types of definitions for text analytics. Whichever you understand, I leave it to your scope. Okay. Coming to, I have told text analytics or text mining. I will differentiate the two terms shortly. So before that, we will see the text mining. How is it related to all the other fields? If you see, text mining along with it is derived from data mining. Obviously, it is derived from data mining. In the input given is databases, library, and information sciences. From there, the information is retrieved and given as input to the text for mining. Web mining is a subset of text mining, and then it is used for information extraction, and it is used in AI and machine learning. How? Through statistics. And document classification and document clustering, again, is an intersection between data mining and text mining. And on this side, when it goes with NLP, concept extraction, then we also include computational linguistics. So it is a field which is connected with every other field related here. Coming to classification of text data. So there are two types of text data. One is structured data, the other one is unstructured data. Most of the time, the data coming from the web or any other source will have 20% structured data and 80% unstructured data. So it is our job as text analysts to see that the unstructured data is converted to structured data before processing. Okay. So now we have learned what is text analytics and the classification. How is text analytics performed? The actual subject comes here. So before going into how, we have to know the mild line between text mining and text analytics. So text mining is nothing but gathering of the data, pre-processing the data, indexing the data after pre-processing, mining the data, and analyzing the data. So this is text mining. Text mining stops here. Then when does text analytics come into play? If text mining, after text mining is done, if we apply the machine learning algorithms to predict information and if we visualize the model, then it becomes text analytics. So there is no text analytics without text mining. Obviously, text mining is the first steps of text analytics. After mining, after converting the structured data, we have to apply machine learning algorithms to predict the information in the text, and we have to visualize the model to get the proper output. Coming to the text analytics model. So, many of you may know what is machine learning algorithm. So for the favor of the people who don't know, I'm just trying to tell you what is machine learning and how this actual text analytics goes on with. Suppose there is previously we have a set of data set with text. I want to perform text analytics on the data set. Then what I do, I take around 50% or 60% of data as training data. What I have to do is I have to train the data before I use the data. So what I do, I train the data, and how I train the data using the machine learning algorithm. The machine learning algorithm here is nothing but algorithms belonging to supervised and unsupervised. They are categorized. I'll show you in the next slide. So on applying the machine learning algorithm, I get a predictive model. This predictive model is nothing but a rule which I derive from the trained model. After getting the rule, I apply the test set. What is a test set? The remaining part of the data set is a test set. I apply the remaining part to get the categories. So this is all text analytics model. So if you're not very clear about this, you just sit back. We'll see the examples. When we see the examples, you'll be more clear. So same text analytics model, again, we will see in a different perspective. What is the perspective here? Again, I'm going to train the text using a feature extractor. I extract the features. I tell them to find whether it is positive, neutral, or negative, and I give him to the machine learning algorithm. Once a machine learning algorithm is applied, I get the classifier model. Now I give the text data again to find which tag it belongs to. So this is how the text analytics model goes in. See, when we were small kids, we don't know English. We were trained to learn English. We were trained to learn the grammar of English, and then we were trained to write, and then we were trained to read. Similarly, we have to train the machine learning algorithm before performing text analytics. So for training, I have to give the input. What labels I should divide, what nature you want me to train it, what algorithm I have to use. Everything should be specified by the text analyst. And then after training, if my rule is set, then if any new data is given as input, I can process the data. That is the objective here. Coming to the different machine learning algorithms, the machine learning algorithms are itself classified into supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement. So unsupervised is nothing but class labels will not be provided. The types of unsupervised are clustering and dimensionality reduction. And in supervised, we go in for classification and regression. And depending on the application, the classification algorithm will be chosen. If the application is a labeled application, we go in for classification. If the application is a non-labeled application, we go in for clustering. Next is the actual flow of work in a test analytics. First thing is we define the problem. What we require for what we are doing the analysis. Then we obtain the data set, the input. We process the data set by parsing, filtering, and transforming it as needed. So what is this parsing, filtering, and transforming? Parsing is nothing but, person who is well versed in compiler design will know this term. Parsing is nothing but dividing the text into tokens. See, if I say Ramu is a boy, then your mind is trained to divide the sentence into nouns and verbs. Similarly, the text has to be divided before it is processed. So that is done in parsing. Then we have to filter. If I have stop words like the, is, was, and, I have to filter it because they don't add meaning to the text. And transformation is if required of transformation. If you have special characters, then to avoid the special character or to avoid the white spaces, we go in for transformation. So all this is done in the pre-processing of the text, and then we apply the text mining algorithm. And the beauty here is Python has inbuilt function for doing all this. That is why we go in for Python for text analytics. And then I doesn't mean only Python can do it. We have R. R can also do text analytics, but comparatively, Python will be easier because it has many inbuilt functions that can be imported and used. Coming to the text mining algorithm, here the text mining algorithm is nothing but the machine learning algorithm. We apply the machine learning algorithm and we derive the output from the text. We perform analytics and we derive it, and then the obtained output is checked whether it is properly mined. So here comes the question: who will check this whether it is properly mined? So again, it is the work of the text analyst. How he checks? He measures with accuracy. He calculates the accuracy statistics, or he can go in for a precision and recall. Many a times people in research use precision and recall. In companies, they go in for accuracy percentage. And once accuracy percentage, the threshold accuracy percentage is reached, they stop the text processing and they give the output for deployment of the analytics. How they deploy the analytics? Using dashboards, event stream processing, enriched model, case management, visualization, and reporting. This is all the flow of text analytics goes with. Coming to next. Okay, so the pre-processing step takes more importance, I said. So now we have the pre-processing of the text. How pre-processing of the text is done? By tokenization. What is tokenization? Tokenization is a simple term which says we are going to divide the text into parts. That's all. So after dividing into parts, we give it to this pre-processing text, wherein the stop words are removed. Stop words are nothing but words and is the, which doesn't belong to any category of noun, verb, adjective, so on. Those are removed. And then we have stemming and lemmatization. Stemming and lemmatization is a process wherein the words are given as input and the actual meaning of the word is conveyed, the base of the word is converted. And then we give this to the feature engineering, wherein we have bag of words, term frequency, inverse document frequency, and word embedding. So what is this bag of word is nothing but after stemming and lemmatization, the lemma of the word is returned. We give it here, and feature engineering tries to divide the word into noun or verb or a adjective or a conjunction, and it puts back. Why we need all this? Because we are deriving meaning from the text. As our brain processes the English language, we have to train our system also to process the English language. So what we do all this process. Bag of word is also, we call it as a part of speech, POS, okay? And what is this TF-IDF is term frequency, inverse document frequency. That is nothing but what is the frequency value of this word with respect to this document? How much priority has to be given to this word in this document? That is the value of TF-IDF. And then we have word embedding, and all this you needn't bother with respect to Python. We have inbuilt functions for this. You just invoke the function and it will do the rest. Word embedding, and then we have model building and model evaluation. So this is a small example how this processing of the text, pre-processing of the text works. First step is tokenization, I said. The input given to this flowchart is the bar was crowded, okay? So for this input, what we do is we divide the input into the bar was crowded. It is tokenized here. The comma shows the tokenization, and then part of speech tagging is nothing but what category it belongs to. The is a determiner. A bar is a noun. Was is a verb. Crowded is a active. It mentions something, right? So all these are categorized based on the part of speech tagging, and then the lemmatization is done. What is lemmatization? The actual lemma of the meaning is returned back to the system, so that it is again divided into phrases. See, this is a noun phrase and this is a verb phrase. All this has to be done to form a parse tree, and parsing helps us to take meaning from the sentence. That is the whole purpose of doing this pre-processing of text, and all this happens inside. And this is simply showing how Python is doing this word tokenizing. You see, a word tokenize is given as input. A sentence is given as input to the function word tokenize in Python, and the result is going to be text. So what is text? Text is nothing but all these words along with the category they belong to in the parts of speech. Similarly, I have another example here. They refuse to obtain the refuse permit. So the same one is given a. It is a repetition, but I just want to show you the different categories, and I have a link here. I'll share you with the link. the link shows the abbreviation of every category. 1 second. So this is showing the abbreviation of every category there. You see CC is coordinating conjunction. You get it? Yeah. So CD is cardinal number, DT is determiner. We have JJ is an adjective, noun, plural. All these are the abbreviations of the tags of the parts of speech given there. Okay. Okay. So coming to the pre-processing of text in NLP. So all whatever I said, I have given as a text here. Tokenization is a sentence or a word tokenization is a problem of dividing the string into sentences or words. Stemming is a process that chops off the ends of the words and remove of derivational affixes. That is nothing but the white spaces, the extra special characters. Lemmatization is vocabulary and morphological analysis of the words. Okay, is the sentence correct? That has to be analyzed, and it also removes the endings and returns the form of the word as in dictionary. Suppose I have a term as to be binding, then it returns only bind because I want only the meaning there. And then stop words are the words which are to be filtered out. Okay, regular expression is nothing but it belongs to a person who has learned TOC or a compiler design will know this very well. So this is used to search a pattern in a text. And without regular expression, there will be no coding in Python for text analytics. And a part of speech is identifying the grammatical group of the given word. And the term frequency, inverse document frequency, is a statistical measure used to evaluate the importance of a word to a document in a collection or corpus. So these are the explanation of the pre-processing of text in NLP. Coming to next part is available classifier models. So before going to actual examples using Python, we will see some of the classifier models which are already available. So first one is going to be sentiment analysis. See, this website is belonging to app.monkeylearn, right? So in this website, they have already built in a set of classifier models which can be used by users if needed. And they have you have to just create a login in their server, and then you can use it for analyzing text. So if you see this is a sentiment analysis. See, the text analytics has many applications, and one such application is sentiment analysis. So what does the word sentiment mean? It is nothing but the feeling of a person. So where it is used, in social media, the analytics performed on Twitter data, WhatsApp data, they try to get the attitude of the people, whether it is positive, negative, or what a good person, what is the communication type of youngsters. All these are used for business promotions. And sentiment analysis is such an analysis wherein, in this case, it is going to be positive and negative. See, this is an input is given. This is a great tool. It is classified to be a positive with confidence value 99.8%. Suppose I say this is not a great tool, then it should become negative, right? So it is negative with 88.2% confidence. So this confidence, they decide based on the words we give. If I use a word like not, they are not going to give me a good confidence level. If suppose I'm going to give a word which is not that catchy, or which is not trained to be a negative word, then it will not give me the correct one. Wait, I will tell you. This is okay, but not okay. The phrase is a bit confusing. So it gives it to be a positive one because the meaning of the phrase is conveyed, but you see the confidence level is going to be down 52.2%. So that is how they have trained this model. So the output of the model is purely dependent on the classifier training of the text analytics and nothing else. If you are going to train a negative statement to be a positive one, then it will give an output to be positive. So the training depends on the text analyzer. This is sentiment analysis. Similarly, we can see another one, topic labeling. Understanding what a given text is talking about, that is topic labeling. We will see that one now. So if you see, this is topic labeling. So in topic labeling, there are 4 features. You got it on the screen, right? So there are 4 features: customer support, ease of use, features, pricing. So this text will be categorized based on price, features, or ease of use, or customer support. what input you are going to give to this text decides the output here. If we give something related to ease of use, if we say it is highly, it is user friendly, something like that. Okay, I don't get it. So how the classifiers model, depending on that, the text has to be inputted. Otherwise, we'll not get the output. See, if I add in a sentence and the features tag has gone. Okay, fine. So this is with classification based on topic labeling. It tells how what the customer feels about the features, pricing, and support of the product. Similarly, one second. So this one is a language classifier. See, they have already given a Latin language as input and they have classified it. Suppose you can give another test. This is a PA session. Then you can classify this text to be English, obviously. Similarly, you have 40 more languages listed here. You can give 40 more languages. You can give the corresponding and you can classify the text. Suppose you want to classify, you have a free data set which has different language data in it, then you can give it as input to here and you can classify the language. In those cases, this application will be highly useful. The last one is intent detection. I will show that and we'll finish this slide. So intent detection is belonging to outbound sales response classifier because it is going to tell what is the intent of the person. Suppose there is a person, he says the product is going to look promising. In this text, he says, it looks promising. I would like to schedule a call tomorrow and see the demo. What time do you have an availability? Then in this case, it becomes interesting because the person is interested to buy the product. Suppose the same person says he is not willing to buy the product, then we can classify it and find out what is the categorization. It is not interested. So not alone this one, there is the category for autoresponder, email bounce. So these are categories for the outbound sales response classifier. He can use these categories, or they term this to be tags, to classify the review from a customer. He can give the customer review as input to the classifier, and he can classify the number of people who are interested, who are not interested, who would like to unsubscribe, who is a wrong person for this, and all those categories. So this is one classifier model for that. Apart from this, this monkey app website, this is the monkey app website. So in this website, one more option they are providing us is we can create our own classifier model here. You have just click create model. You want to create a classifier, then we can go in for create classifier. And then which one? You want a sentiment analysis, you want topic classification, you want intent classification. If you want any other classifier also, they have. Because since I have used all this, they ask me this question. They provide a set of classifiers. I'll show them what are they. So suppose I am saying it is a topic classification. Then they ask me what type of topic classification. If I'm going to give an Excel file as input or a CSV file as input. Suppose I say I am going to give a CSV file. I have to input a CSV file here. I'll input one. So I have a CSV file with details of artificial intelligence. I have 10 sentences with artificial intelligence, 10 sentences with 10 sentences with chemistry, and 10 sentences with cricket. You just see it is displayed. There are 3 columns. Okay. The data I have given as a CSV file, they have divided into 3 columns. I need all these columns. Suppose you are inputting a data set which has columns with numerical value, you can avoid the numerical value and you take only the text data for performing this. So you see, I am uploading the data, and now the next part is importing. After importing, since I am building this model, I have to say what is the classifier I am using for this model. See, there are 29 texts uploaded in this model. Okay. So I have to give the tag name. I have 3 data. I said one is AI, the other one is cricket, and the other one is chemistry. So these are my tags. I want to categorize the sentences based on these tags. So see, before a match begins, a two-team captain. So obviously this is cricket. This is training part. See, I am training. I am taking a few texts and training, because only after training I can test something. Okay. So I say this sentence belongs to cricket. Then this is a sentence which belongs to AI. So this is also a sentence which belongs to AI. This is a sentence which belongs to cricket. Score cricket. Again cricket. Again cricket. So this is chemistry. And this is AI again. So now we have finished with the training. Now I finish my model. I have three tags: cricket, artificial intelligence, and chemistry. And I have created my model. I have trained my model with a set of sentences. So now if I give my model with a new sentence, then it should be able to categorize it. So here you have a sentence. Runs are scored by two main methods, and this is categorized to be cricket. So similarly, I will give some other sentence now. So I give my sentence with related to cricket now. The sentences. This is my sentence. It should be categorized to be cricket again. You see, it will be categorized to be cricket. And at the same time, I give another sentence which belongs to chemistry, and it should be categorized as chemistry. It is categorized as chemistry. And then I give another sentence which belongs to artificial intelligence. So all these sentences are test sentences. They are not trained sentences. So if I give, in this case, it says it is an AI. The confidence level vary depending on the words I give for training. But at last, I will get the output to be the tags which I have given. So this is how we can create our own model using this app, this URL. Okay. So if you want to test or do text analytics in a smaller level, very well you can use this URL. So coming to our presentation again. So if you see, we have seen the available classify models like sentiment analysis, topic labeling, language detection, intent detection. And we have seen this website. I have given the reference in the PowerPoint slide. And you have these many classifiers belonging to this URL. You have a hotel aspect also. If you have a hotel data set, then you can very well create a model for a training of the hotel aspect. So these are the different classifiers. So coming to our next slide. So what is the analytics part done, which we have seen is topic detection. Topic detection is nothing but to which topic the text belongs to. Sentiment analysis is nothing but what is the feeling of the user. If the user is a consumer, or what is the feeling of a person who is tweeting on Twitter. That can be sentiment analysis. So information retrieval is taking meaningful data from the text. Content categorization is categorization of the content based on the tags given. Trend analysis. So in marketing, to boost up market, they try to find what is the current trend among youngsters or particular age people, so that they can raise promotions accordingly. And root cause analysis. If there is a downfall of a certain company, then the review has to be very well analyzed so that the downfall is identified, and that can be done using text case analytics. How the deployment is done? For sentiment dashboard, you have to go in for community view, product line view, region view, business line view. The different abstraction levels of views we can go depending on the application. If it is events, then we go in for risk alert, competition alert, customer interactions. We visualize everything using charts, and we generate an enriched model. And business use cases are places where it is applied in business. It is termed here, right? Okay. So coming to the next slide. Okay, examples using Python. So I will show you 3 examples. If you are already knowing the basics of Python, it will be very helpful. Otherwise, also you just look on to the coding, and then I will, in the e-materials, the presentation and coding, everything will be provided. You try to work out the coding so that you become well versed in the subject. And text analytics is a promising title for research, both for students and for faculty. Coming to the three examples, I have used sports data analytics, Game of Thrones, and sentiment analysis. Three programs we are going to discuss, of which sports data analytics is nothing but I have a data. In that data, I have three details: cricket, football, tennis. Similarly, what we saw previously, cricket, artificial intelligence, chemistry. Similarly, I have a text data with details of these three. In the already shown model, it is available model. Now what we are going to do, we are going to see coding for implementation of the model. And what will be the output? I am going to give an input sentence, and the sentence will be categorized whether it belongs to football or cricket or tennis. Coming to Game of Thrones. So this is Game of Thrones is not your game, it is not a video game, right? It is actually a famous play. And we have a data set of text data set of this play. So a stage play. A play is nothing but a stage play, and we have text data set, and we have players or the person who the dialogues are given as text, and that is processed in this Game of Thrones. And in sentiment analysis, again we categorize whether it is positive or negative. What is positive or negative? We take a Twitter data is taken, and it is analyzed for whether it is positive or negative. So we will see the coding part. I have done every coding. The coding is done in Colab. I'll open the Colab and show you, and just try to understand whatever level you want. Okay. So what is Colab? Many of you will be having the knowledge on it. For those who don't know, I will just tell you what is Colab. Colab is actually cloud laboratory where we needn't install any configuration for executing Python. Not alone Python, actually it was a lab which was introduced for data science, machine learning, AI. Vast of researchers are carried out on this fields in the Colab, but very well we can use it for Python also. So just go to Google and type Colab. Only thing is you should have already logged in with your Gmail ID, any ID, or it will prompt for login. If you have already logged in with your Gmail, then it will not prompt. It will directly go to the Colab page. So this is a Colab page, and it will ask you if you have already stored any notebooks, it will ask you which one to open. If you have not stored any notebooks, then obviously you should open a new notebook. So I have stored the text analytics, so I'm opening it. So this is Colab, the page of Colab, right? So if you see, I have a program here run already. These are the cells of the Colab, right? This is the code cell of the Colab, and anything you want to write, you have to write here, and you have to execute it. After the command for execution is Shift Enter. So once you execute it, the coding will be executed. If it's correct, it will be executed. Otherwise, an error will be thrown out. And these are the cells of the Colab, and I have already written this program, which is text analytics program. So if you see, we have three types of data set: cricket, football, and tennis. I have 10 sentences of cricket in my input data set, 10 football, and 10 tennis. So using these 10 sentences, what I do, I train my model. And after training my model, I classify the input test sentences. How I do that, I will execute cell by cell so that you can understand. And if you have any doubts, you just post at the end of the session, or you forward through mails to Proto team. I will be very well happy to answer it. So first thing is, I have to import my data set to Colab. My data set is sports data set. I have it in the form of a text. So I have to import, I have to use this coding. It is a 2-line coding, okay? It is not a must. Every coding you should know and understand. You can use it as such. You take it from web